You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, let's talk about the Las Vegas Raiders, a team we like to talk about a lot, especially when it comes to coaching decisions, hirings, and firings. Really starting all the way back from the time that Josh McDaniels looked like he was going to get his ass run off, and then next thing you know, his ass got run off, and that was it for Josh McDaniels, who is now the OC for the New England Patriots again. I still think that's a fantastic hire. Some guys are great coordinators and not great head coaches. Looking right at you, Chicago, right now. Just throwing that out there. I think there's a world, actually, where the Raiders dodged a serious bullet. A serious bullet. I read a couple of things the other day about Ben Johnson, and I was like, ooh, there's some people around the NFL behind the scenes that really have reservations about that guy, all right? And whether or not he's capable of being a head coach versus an OC. So what do the Raiders do now? Liam Cohen off the market, going to the Jags. I thought he'd have been a great choice for the Jags and the Raiders, right? And I just dropped that video. Pete Carroll. All right. Now, look, if all this drama goes on around the Raiders and you lose all these supposed candidates and you end up with a Super Bowl champion, national champion, head football coach, do you really have an issue with that? I know people are bringing up Pete Carroll's age. I don't get it. I mean, if you look at Andy Reid and you look at Pete Carroll, which one looks like they're going to have the heart attack first? Question mark. Just wondering, all right? And I'm sorry, but I'm hiring Pete Carroll every day of the week before I'm hiring Steve Spagnuolo, who failed twice as a head coach. People forget about that interim stint with the Giants where he went 1-3 or 1-4. Well, hell, let's just look. I've got it brought up right here. 1-3 right here, where he got another shot 6 years after the disaster that was the Rams. I know his defenses are out of the ballpark. I get it. They're filthy. But I think he's one of these coordinator guys that we keep talking about. Right? Pete Carroll, 170 and 120. NFC, look, went to the Super Bowl twice, won one. 97 and 19 in college. Okay? I mean, seriously. With a national championship, right? I mean, come on. 3-time Pac-10 Coach of the Year. Pete Carroll is a beast. And he acts like, he's 48 years old right now. We've all seen it. There is momentum with Pete Carroll right now. Momentum is building in league circles for Pete Carroll to be the next head coach of the Raiders. By the way, there are still rumors, and I'm a Niners fan. The moment Robert Saleh became available, I was banging the drum for Robert Saleh to get back to the Niners as quick as possible as defensive coordinator. The news dropped yesterday afternoon that they're bringing Robert Saleh back. But now he's rumored as a candidate to the Raiders. So we may have a little Liam Cohen situation with the 49ers and Robert Saleh, but that's a stay tuned situation. All right? That doesn't mean it's done. It doesn't mean he's the guy. It only means that multiple people in position to know which way the wind is blowing believe the wind is blowing squarely in Carroll's direction. He coached the Jets. He coached the Patriots, 97 through 99. The Seahawks, 2010 to 2023. 9 years with USC, restored the Trojans to the glory of yesteryear. Took Seattle to its one and only Super Bowl title. So that's where you're standing with that. And there are people that believe he is the guy. Mike Lombardi was on, I believe this was the Pat McAfee show. Yep. Quote, I think they'll hire a coach that gives them some, they need some credibility. They need some stability, and Pete Carroll would bring that immediately. I think sometimes everybody wants the new bright, shiny object in the room, but I think a team like the Raiders, they need somebody who's got some experience, who can understand how they're going to navigate the next 3 years in the course. And I would think Pete Carroll would have a hell of a chance to be the next head coach. You know, a story came out that Jerry Jones talked to Pete. All right. Now, you got a lot of Cowboys fans now officially praying that Pete Carroll comes out of nowhere to take that job from Brian Schottenheimer. But I think he was probably vetting Brian Schottenheimer, who worked for Pete Carroll. But you never know. I mean, Jerry could shock the world and come in here at the last minute. This is out there now. John Spytek. There was some controversy about him doubling back to the Bucs. I don't know what's going on right now, but no, they got it done. 5-year contract. That's a done deal. And it would. They believe right here, despite reports that Pete Carroll is a new front runner, nothing has happened. Carroll is looking for an answer from the Raiders, and a safe bet his representatives leaked the report Thursday that the Cowboys have some interest in Pete Carroll. So, in other words, that's a situation. Here we are. This is a story by way of Ed Warder, who covers the Cowboys a lot. While former Seahawks Super Bowl winning head coach Pete Carroll awaits a decision from the Raiders, for which he is a top candidate, he has spoken on the phone with Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, a source confirmed. All right, so there's that. Now, you got Raiders fans. They're worried. Listen to this.
I found someone.
This old guy?
I found someone.
This old guy?
I mean, that's funny. That's funny, but seriously, keeping it positive. But if they hire Pete, this clip will be a home run. A lot of people found it really funny. And is this better than Gruden? Well, you know, that's a great point. Some people are saying they're good with Carroll. I mean, honestly, Raiders fans complaining about a possible Carroll hire is hilarious. The guy made the playoffs 9 times in 13 years with Seattle. Raiders have made the playoffs 6 times in 40 years. Yikes. Yikes. So, I mean, there is a thought process that, yeah, a lot of people, just general NFL fans, think this would be a good hire for the Raiders. Great choice. He's a winner. I think if the Raiders fall back into Pete Carroll somehow, at the end of this process, if the Raiders look up and have Pete Carroll is their head football coach, are you really going to be upset? It's kind of like Vrabel going to the Patriots. You look at the Patriots right now compared to what they had last year, and you've got a very competent, solid coaching staff. I mean, the Patriots and Pete Carroll's going to assemble the same kind of competent, solid coaching staff. I mean, this is an upgrade. As a head coach, it's an upgrade over Josh McDaniels any day of the week. Certainly over Antonio Pierce, too. You look up at the end of this and you got Pete Carroll, you could do a lot worse. A whole lot worse, I think, if you're a Raiders fan. Now, that division, Andy Reid, Jim Harbaugh, Sean Payton, Pete Carroll. Wow. We're talking about head coaches that are most likely, all of them, eventually going to make the Hall of Fame. I mean, think about that a minute. Now, Jim Harbaugh's got to win a Super Bowl, but if he wins one, then he's probably eventually going to be in because of his entire body of work. Wow. And Sean Payton's getting there, and we know Andy Reid's getting there. And Pete Carroll's going to eventually get there. So that is a murderer's row, but that's the kind of guy you need. Now, if you're a Raiders fan, would you want Mike McCarthy or John Gruden over Pete Carroll? That's a question. A lot of Raiders fans immediately would say, we want John Gruden back. I'd say, like, right off the bat, 30% of the Raiders fan base would take John Gruden back right now. Just 3 out of 10, 4 out of 10 Raiders fans automatically would take John back. because they felt like his run wasn't complete the second time because he got effed. Tell me what you think. Pete Carroll looks like he's the guy, but who the hell knows right now? You could have a college coaching guy come out of nowhere, Lincoln Riley out of nowhere, somebody like that. You never know. I think with Mike Lombardi's comments, it's safe you could rule out Belichick now. Right? Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.